Hello everyone, I have been working on this little game called Every Christmas Board Game Be Like for the past 1 month. The game is being made for an English board game making competition. For some reason they gave 2 months of time to make a board game, so me and my friends decided to overcomplicate it a little bit and make a video game. I of course make the code and they do other stuff like coming up with ideas, in this case minigames. Lots of minigames. ECBGBL is a game like Mario Party, but with the goal of obtaining presents instead of stars. The team of 4 players have to get a minimum number of presents. The player's goal is to get the most presents in the team, and this is how you win. You move through the board using a special wireless cube. After each player moves, a minigame will start playing. In Alpha 1.0, there are 5 minigames: Snowball Fight, Tree Climb, Slide and Avoid, Bumper Sleigh, and the Run. I will go through each minigame this video and how they work and how I fixed problems during the making of the game. The board is an interesting thing. It's not really a board, it's more like a map, but it has fields on it, so I guess it qualifies as a board. It has exactly 121 fields. There are 3 different types of fields: the normal field, the present field, and a minigame field. The normal field does nothing. The present field gives you free presents, and the minigame field, as you probably guessed, starts a minigame. This is the part of the video that gets complicating: the game manager. It's a script that is basically loaded on all times. It stores informations like player present count, player positions, RNG for minigames, loading screen, UI, and so on. It's the most complicated script in the entire game. It's basically the brain of ECBGBL. Without it, you couldn't even load into the board without crashing the game. When the minigame randomization is called, it generates a number between 0 and the amount of minigames. Then the loading screen animations are played. The board scene unloads, the minigame scene loads. The minigame is set inactive quite literally because there is a script that disables objects for 10 seconds to prevent screen tearing on loading. This isn't fixed perfectly, I have to take a look on that in Alpha 1.1. Snowball Fight is the first minigame I made. It would be pretty boring if I haven't added this music, screen shake, and the tri-shot power up, which makes you shoot 3 snowballs that are offsetted 30 degrees from the middle snowball. This is the minigame where I made the character controller script that is being used in the Run and Slide and Avoid. It basically uses the character controller that Unity provides as a component alongside with a practice tutorial. It's really simple. Tree Climb is an interesting minigame that required a lot of problem solving. The tree itself is just a scaled up version of the tree on the board. Then I made a decoration model and slapped a texture on it. The tree was done. The players are on this long decoration that I don't know the name of. The camera is scrolling upwards, so if a player leaves the sight of the camera, the player falls off the rope. This was made using a non-trigger exit function. There are falling decorations, but they seem to be broken by the script that fixes screen tearing, so I guess they won't be spawning now. Changing the start function to an on-enable function seems to fix it. Anyways, if a falling ball falls on you, you of course fall off. Each present gives the player 1 point, and the big present on top of the tree gives you 10. Currently, the most boring game, Slide and Avoid, is all about showing your parkour and strafing skills. If you ever played Carlson or Rerun, you probably know that pressing forward and the side direction makes you go faster by about 30%. This is also the case here. Each present you pick up gives you 2 points, but I might have to nerf this since you can get near 40 points by collecting all of them. You might ask, what's boring in this? Well, the floor isn't actually sliding. That's kinda disappointing. I should consider renaming the minigame to something like Hill Climb. Anyways, tell me what I should name it. The players use the character controller that I talked about earlier. This is the game that features the timer. If it ticks off, the minigame ends. Here's the code for it. When you reach the end, touching the finish line ends the minigame. It works using a non-trigger enter function once again. I love that function. Bumper Sleigh is overall a weird minigame. The controls are just bad, but that can be easily fixed by changing the slide amount to a lower amount. At least this minigame has sliding. The sleigh is controlled by a script that gives the rigid body some force, which is based on your input. I also have to fix some collider issues. Also, the minigame has no music yet, but it features sliding sounds. The water, like in the other minigames, drowns you. The sleigh's model is really weird. The normals are inside out because I forgot to press Shift plus N in Blender. Oh well. The points would be awarded over time, but it seems to be really broken and somehow it gives 19 points to everyone. The Run is a very similar minigame to Slide and Avoid. It's basically the same, but this time player 1 have to go through the course while the other players try to shoot a snowball on him. This minigame would be great if I could properly do a testing, maybe on Monday. Anyways, here's the script for the Shooty Boys. I can't really show you anything else in this minigame, since it's so similar to Slide and Avoid. At least the lighting is different, since it's a nice sunset this time. Thanks for watching. If you watched the entire video, you learned that on-trigger enter is the greatest function in Unity. If you agree, click the like button. Also, subscribe if you want to know what will happen to EasyBGBL and what other games I will create. Bye!